Directed by Hollywood legend Orson Welles, Touch of Evil is a film noir masterpiece whose Hollywood backstory is as unforgettable as the movie itself. Starring Charlton Heston, Janet Leigh, and Welles himself, this dark portrait of corruption and morally compromised obsessions tells the story of a crooked police chief who frames Mexican youth as part of an intricate criminal plot. With its iconic ticking bombs opening sequence, shadowy cinematography, evocative score, and memorable supporting turns, Touch of Evil is a stylistic triumph that stands the test of time. This 3-disc special edition features 4K restorations of all 3 versions of the film. So we're getting the reconstructed film version, theatrical version, and the preview version. I watched the reconstructed version because it is Orson Welles' intended vision. Basically what happened was there was a lot of studio interference with Orson Welles at this time, and they wanted the movie to be a certain way. They had ideas. Orson Welles had his own ideas. He actually wrote the studio a 58-page memo about his changes, what he wanted for the actual vision of Touch of Evil. So this reconstruction edit is to that memo. The opening scene, I think, is the most famous part of this film. You have a one shot of Charlton Heston and Janet Leigh leaving Mexico, heading for the border of the U.S. and Mexico, while the car in front of them blows up. So there's our mystery. Like, what happened? How did and it turns out that the couple that was in the car are rich and famous. So this is a huge case. So then walks a gruntled police chief played by Orson Welles. You know, he's very, he got the cigar in his hand. He's a big figure. Orson Welles had put on a lot of weight at this time. He's a big burly figure, so he's perfect for this role against Charlton Heston, who works for the Mexican police. And so you have American versus Mexican police, and trying to figure out who done it, who framed who put the dynamite in the car, and it leads us down a trail that becomes rather interesting. So Charlton Heston is after Orson Welles because he thinks that the dynamite was planted by American police, and he's trying to prove it. Can Heston prove he's right? And at the end, we're left with this twist that I think is very satisfying. Again, Orson Welles' dynamic with the style, the wonder in the beginning, the shots of underneath, characters to provide dominance over another character. Beautifully choreographed, beautifully shot. This 4K by Kino Lorber is top-notch, top-shelf stuff here. The special features you get is Bringing Evil to Life, a documentary, Evil and Lost and Found behind-the-scenes look at the reconstruction, which is very informative as far as what went on behind the scenes. And then 5 commentaries. 3 discs here, and they all are 4K UHD discs. We have the reconstruction version, which I watched, and then they put 2 stacked on each other, preview version and the theatrical. Great release by Kino Lorber. Highly recommend Touch of Evil. Let me know below in the comments, have you seen Touch of Evil? What do you think of it? And as always, this has been Return of the Disc. I'm Dan. For more Return of the Disc, visit returnofthedisc.com. Check out the audio version of today's show, available on all major podcast platforms. And be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel.